Here after we have configured our Proxmox VE cluster and we are also able to migrate VMs between different nodes, I would like to simulate a node failure in this video, so that we see what is happening with the VMs running on this node by default, and also what needs to be done so that the VMs are migrated to a different host fully automatically. And in order to demonstrate that, I have already opened the Proxmox VE web interface, and this VM with the ID 109 will be my test VM for this video. So as you can see, currently it's running on the host Proxmox 5. And so I will simulate a failure of this node. And as mentioned, this node is virtualized, running under VirtualBox. So I will just disconnect the virtual network cable so that the host isn't reachable anymore from the other cluster members, and therefore it will be marked as down. So I will just untick this box and confirm that. And after switching back to the web interface, we can see that the host is already marked as unreachable. And after clicking on it, we also get this error message, which indicates that the host is unreachable. In addition to that, after switching to the data center level and Ceph, we can also see that one OSD is down and also one Ceph monitor, but nevertheless, the VM wasn't moved to another node. And of course, there are scenarios where we want that. For example, if we are providing important services and we want to minimize the downtime. So if one node is down, the VM should be started on another node as fast as possible. But as you can see here, by default that is not the case. So first of all, I will re-enable the network connectivity for this node. And after switching back to the web interface, that is detected automatically. So the host is up again, the VM is running again, and the Ceph monitor and the OSD are also up again. Yeah, but how can we now achieve this high availability? So that a specific VM is started on another host if one node fails. And for that I will switch to the high availability section here on the data center level. And here is the setting that we need. Cause after clicking on the add button, we can specify resources that need to be highly available. So virtual machines and Linux containers. So in that case I need to select the VM with the ID 109. And when we set the requested state to started, Proxmox VE will start the VM on another host if one host fails. Furthermore, we can configure two parameters here, max restart and max relocate. By default, both parameters are set to 1. The first one specifies how often Proxmox tries to restart a VM if the first start fails. So in that case only one time. And with the relocate parameter, we can specify how often Proxmox tries to move the VM between different nodes. And in my case, I can confirm that by clicking on add. After that, the VM has the state queued for a short time and also starting. And just after a few seconds, the state changes to started. And now Proxmox aims to keep that state, so that in the end we can achieve high availability for this particular VM. And in order to test it, I will again simulate a failure of the corresponding node. So again, I will just disable the network connection for this node and confirm that by clicking on OK. And after switching back to the web interface, the node is immediately marked as down. And the node also got the state dead here and also old timestamp. And after waiting for a few seconds, the state of the VM will also change. So now it got the state fans. And very soon it will be started on another host. So now the state changed again and the VM is up and running on host Proxmox 3. So after disabling the network connection on host Proxmox 5, this node wasn't reachable anymore for the other cluster members. Therefore, the node is now considered as down. And since we have added this VM here in the HR section, the VM was automatically started on another host. So yeah, it's important to select the corresponding resources that need to be highly available here on the data center level within the high availability section. In addition to that, I've also re-enabled the network connection for Proxmox 5. But as you can see, the VM isn't migrated back or anything and keeps running on Proxmox 3. So yeah, in the end, it's just important that you add the corresponding resources here that are running important services. Cause then Proxmox V ensures that the resources are as highly available as possible and can also be started on other nodes.